Welcome to part 13 of the 2023 NFL Draft and Review. Today we are going to be looking at the Kansas City Chiefs draft class. Now, obviously this is the defending Super Bowl champions, so they're, as far as I'm concerned, at the moment the best team in the NFL right now. And thus, it's really less about improving a team and more maintaining a team. And this is something the Chiefs have done very well, as they've won 2 Super Bowls in recent history. They've basically dominated the AFC West ever since Peyton Manning retired. So it's one of those things that it's basically their race to lose. So this is just about maintaining the team, and it looks like they've done a good job of that thus far. So that is going to start us off with defensive end Felix Anudike-Uzomah. And the stats say that this is probably a pretty good pick. That is a solid amount of tackles for loss and sacks for a guy that was a 2-year starter, seemingly. So, get right to the highlights here, basically. 6 forced fumbles, that's a nice number for a year. Really nice. There we go.
So if they're to end that 6-game losing streak, it's going to take a rally here in Manhattan. And Smith is sacked. Back.
Coach Nielsen told us that they have to play mistake-free football if they want to have a chance. Our first.
Well, he's going up against the freshman, the redshirt freshman Ellingson, number 65, and it's just a bull rush.
2 games up and 2 games down. He's had 2 quarters up and 2 quarters down. You have to be more aware of your.
Cook flushed, and down he goes.
But the guy that I want you to keep is just the guy up top. We talked about him earlier. Felix Anudike-Uzomah.
Guess who again? Oh my goodness! Will someone block that man?
There's not much from the run game at all. And here comes Felix. And down goes Sanders.
You saw him earlier on a reverse, go through 2. Wow. I'll go through Springfield.
Got no tackle and running back. That's good.
He's pressured, brought down, is able to hold on to the ball.
Going to see the one-arm extension from 91. Call that a long arm, and he gets into the chest of the tackle.
And just leak out of the backfield. Great play.
The junior is sacked.
In the college football playoff standings. Neal ripped up behind the line by Felix.
Watch the flow and reaction here of this 3-man front. Uzomah's on the other side of it immediately. He feels that void. Run fits, not a problem right now.
Missed his guy, and down he goes. Columbia sacked at the 45, and guess who?
Duggan facing some pressure. He'll be sacked.
Don't tell me quarterbacks don't get hit in the modern game.
One-on-one off the edge. And how many times have you seen that this year?
4-man rush. Smith in trouble. He's going to be brought down. Back.
Good job off the edge.
Yeah, like I said, the Chiefs might have got themselves another pretty solid pass rusher here. I'm not entirely convinced he's going to be a starter immediately, because the Chiefs are one of those teams that I kind of have a bit of trouble figuring out who's going to be where on their defense at any given time, but it does look like that he's probably going to be on the field a good chunk from the drop. So, like I said, they might have gotten themselves another good pass rusher here, and that is really good to have, because looking at the NFC, in theory, you're only going to be seeing like 2 or 3 quarterbacks coming out of that conference for the next couple of years. Jalen Hurts type guys. Maybe a Dak Prescott if the Cowboys get lucky. Just things like that. You'll get some of these more mobile guys. So having a guy that can run these quarterbacks down, can get through some decent level blocking, that's going to be good for the Chiefs to have going forwards as they continue to continue dominating the AFC. So that's going to move us along to the second selection for the Chiefs. That is wide receiver Rashee Rice. I think I saw a little bit of this guy before the draft. I don't see very many players before the draft, but it's I think this was one of the ones I did take a little bit of a look, like last year or something, just to see what he was doing. And so this looks pretty good to me. 679 touchdowns. It's not great on yards, but touchdowns to yards, that's not bad. So only got one more on 32 more catches in his last season, but he also got like pretty close to 700 more yards. So the Chiefs are not weak at receiver, if only because Patrick Mahomes, I am at this point convinced that it doesn't matter who he's throwing to, as long as they have someone who's capable of catching a football, the Chiefs' passing offense will be fine. So we'll go ahead and look at Rashee Rice now.
Just a three-man rush. A lot of men in coverage, and SMU beats it again with the flat
Field side fade route, and they throw it back. So
oh, look, another Big Ten college getting beat defensively. How many times have we seen this now? And the first time I pointed that out, people wanted to complain.
The penalties decline. First down.
The young kids are calling that.
Finding its rhythm. Mordecai slings it. Jump ball. Rice has it. First and goal for SMU.
Mordecai across the middle. That's Rashee Rice. Touchdown. Zero blitz. Everybody inside. No safety help at all. And then you get the inside.
without that play. Hiding of 12.
Now watch Rashee Rice. He drives his pattern, and then he drives back to the ball.
Mordecai takes the shot. Separation and the touchdown. Rashee. 5 carries tonight. Mordecai flushed out. Open man. He finds him. It's Rashee Rice running away from everybody.
Fake to him. Mordecai to go up top. Got a man across the middle. And SMU answers with the touchdown. Rashee Rice
In the flats, but at the snap of the ball, they back up, and he goes into the flat quickly.
Mordecai into traffic, and his man wins. Rashee Rice any way you can.
And that's exactly why he needs to go back to him, because he is going to make plays. Very nice job of him.
Mordecai fires on third down. Rashee Rice, top target catch. Here's the run after catch and a big first down.
they cannot do is let Rice break tackles and get the ball in space.
Second out. Mordecai wants it all again. He's got it all.
And drops a dime to the receiver versus man-to-man coverage. What a throw. The defensive back. And then as he presses, he's going to take away that leverage right there. It's that outside foot stick in the ground that opens up that window, and is a perfect throw.
Third down conversion. Over top, and there's the first of the day. Rashee Rice swarmed by midshipmen.
Right there.
Able to convert.
Pressure again. Mordecai against Dan to the pocket. That's Rice over the middle. Missed.
Take advantage of all these plays. Tanner Mordecai across the middle. Got a man. Extra yards. Rashee.
Third down. Richards the pressure. Rice elevates, makes the catch.
Quick pass to Rashee Rice.
Rod Bentley moves into the slot at the top of your screen.
Yeah, a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes can absolutely use this guy. I'm curious a little bit to see this guy's 40 time. So let's see if they got it over here. No, they don't. Okay, let's see. Google. 4.5. So I was right in thinking that he looked a tiny bit sluggish at times, but he seems to have a knack for just catching balls no matter where you're put. He gets enough separation to be an obvious target. He can catch the ball when it's contested by one, sometimes two guys. So, yeah, I think the Chiefs could utilize this one, but it does kind of come down to where he's going to be kind of beyond the depth chart, because I don't really think that he's quite above some of these other guys that are on the Chiefs roster right now. So it's really going to come down to how prominent a role he can carve out for himself between the ongoing training camps and eventually into the regular season. So it's going to be interesting to see how that pans out. So their next selection was tackle Wanya Morris, and I didn't really look at the tackle position before I started, but, well, I'm kind of inclined to believe that the Chiefs are more or less good there, so this is, in theory, a reasonable depth selection. And I believe this is him over here. Whoever this guy is getting matched up with, and that is just getting overmatched. Senior Bowl stuff, not really what I want to see, but sometimes just got to deal with it with some of these offensive linemen ones. That guy is just way too small to be trying to against this guy. Okay, so what some of this says to me is that he could probably work on his hand placement, because I saw one or two in there that could potentially get called for holding. Bullshit or not, it's the NFL. You've got to account for the refs being dicks. So yeah, I stand by what I said. I see this as a backup selection. Not a bad backup selection, but someone that definitely needs to be molded for a season or two before being thrown out there. So not a bad pick, but not an immediate contributor either. So that brings us down to safety Chamari Connor. And this is another backup. I looked at a... okay. I looked at a early depth chart prediction. This says that they're probably going to stick him at free safety, so that means backing up Justin Reed. And that's about where, yeah, I would expect him to be. He seems to play a bit more of a role in the sack and run-stopping game, which isn't a bad thing, certainly. Obviously, teams need that, especially with not so much the emergence of top-level running backs, but with the prevalence of quarterbacks that can run around. You've got to having a safety that can stop them short. It can be nice to have, and it is something that I kind of wish the Patriots would invest a little more in, but here we are.
To get his team back on top.
Against four-man pressure. Armstrong. Broken up!
That's got to be intercepted.
That's a lofty name to throw out, but Joe Burrow, not the strongest arm you've ever seen, but understands timing, angles, all the things that grow into being a great...
If you're going to get a reception or a flag throw, you just have to hold him in order to cover him, knock the ball away.
Leonard pressure and gets hit hard.
Critical position. Really good job of timing up the blitz.
Second in the full 10. Wants to cut it loose and deflected and almost caught on the back end. Was getting ready to deliver an interception, and Rambo almost still made a great catch.
It's the second time Virginia Tech's had an interception go through their hand.
Garwo again trying to sidestep, and he gets pushed down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain against Massachusetts when he hurt himself as Garwo gets chopped down hard by Connor and Kark.
The carry is Williams.
Minute 4 for Kenny Pickett and Pitt. Time to hop in the pocket and then throw it, nearly intercepted.
With one, you got to make the most of it.
This guy's hands are not good.
Surveys, throws sideline, tipped away by Connor in front of Tayseer Matt.
Fake the end around, Mobley, the tuck, the run, and down he goes.
Howell rolling out, wants to throw it back, didn't have the time to. Howell whips it, and it's tipped, and it's juggled, and it's Connor!
this time.
An eligible receiver downfield offense.
That's a defensive tackle in pass. Did he hold on to the football?
Rolling on the field is an interception.
Hokies come on the blitz, and they get home. Shamari Connor.
I would almost kind of view Connor a bit as a Jamal Adams type. Maybe if he bulked up a little, I'd flip him over to linebacker, see how he does there, because this guy doesn't really play like a safety. His hands are a joke. The pass rushing seems to be what he's particularly excelling at. Yeah, there's a good bit of tackles for loss too, but, you know, 1-to-3 ratio here, so it's pretty clear he's getting in the backfield quite a bit. And then just not a particularly impressive amount of tackles for the position either, so I just can't help but kind of see a bit of Jamal Adams here, of like, this guy just doesn't really translate as a safety, you know, my proper safety. That's what I would look for. So, like I said, decent backup pick, but I don't really view this one as coming in too much. So next we have linebacker B.J. Thompson. I'm not sure if that college is FCS, so let's just see first. And it doesn't really look like it. I'll mouse over just to be sure. Yeah, FCS. Okay, so not expecting too much here. Overall, I think they also, this says they're going to move him over to defensive end. I'm not 100% sure on that. Take a look, grain of salt. So, but we'll just go ahead with the tape because I don't really know what to say with a player like this. Background linebacker, FCS. I don't expect much.
Bearcats, third down play. Pressure on Shoemaker. Tripped up and brought down back at the 25-yard screen. He just goes right, ghost move underneath the right tackle there. Number 70.
Angelo State needs to do. They have to throw on 3rd and 20, and it's going to be a huge quarterback sack in the backfield here for your offense. So 2nd and 4 coming up here for the gain of 6, and we got our first sack.
Yards per catch back in 2017. The pitch back, that goes nowhere. And maybe back to your point.
Yeah, well, as I expected, or not really much to see here, so just another backup type selection, which is what I expected. The Chiefs are basically just filling out to make sure that they've got their backups, because their starting team is more than good enough to win a Super Bowl right now. You don't got to add much to a team like this. So that brings it to the next pick, defensive tackle, Keandre Coburn. And this is another position that clear backup selection. They've got their starters here, so this is just a stash them on the depth chart in case of injury sort of guy. Not terrible where defensive tackles in the late rounds I've seen is concerned, but, you know, this is pretty clear backup production. Less than 3 sacks a year, less than 5 tackles for loss a year, less than 30 tackles overall per year, so this is just typical roster padding, pretty much. Big guy, though. I will say that. And that's... He's definitely got the power to get through. It's just a matter of doing it a little more consistently. bit of poor blocking on that one. Linemen need to move a little quicker for the side shift like that. But like I said, this is just a depth pick sort of guy. But with a little coaching, he could maybe be one of those players that sort of emerges as a starter in a couple years down the road. Because I do notice a little bit of good power and size there. So he could, with a good bit of progression, be a bit of a force in the NFL. But that is a major gamble. And obviously, the Chiefs aren't a team that are gambling here. They're just filling out the backups because they can win a Super Bowl as long as they don't get a massive injury wave. So that is going to bring it to the final player of this class, cornerback Nick Jones, and I wasn't really able to find too much on this guy. It really just kind of feels like the Chiefs taking an extremely long odds flyer in case this guy turns out a lot better than he seems. So not really much to say for this selection. It's just they've got their starters at this position. Maybe Nick Jones makes the team, sticks around. Maybe he doesn't. But generally speaking, these types of players, I usually see them end up getting cut after 2, sometimes 3 years, if they even make it that long. So that is all the picks, and I would say that this kind of shakes out as probably about a C+, B- sort of class. There's nothing really special here. The best player is easily the first one taken, Felix Anudike-Uzomah, and Rashee Rice has a pretty good shot as well, but I wouldn't say that Rice has the potential to be a special player, and Uzomah could be, but now do the Chiefs really need another special player to stay on top at this point? So the rest is just largely backup depth, a project or two, and that kind of drags it down. They're not bad selections for what they are, but it's just one of those things. The Chiefs are kind of where the Patriots were around the mid-2000s and the mid-2010s, where you don't really need to have these great drafts because you've had your great drafts. You've got your players like Patrick Mahomes and all of them that form a Super Bowl winning core of a team. So that they've had those drafts. They have what they need. And provided that no one's really getting injured and the Chiefs have not had much of a problem with that, then they will continue to contend for and win Super Bowls. That's just the long and short of that. They won't really, I would say, have to start having great drafts again, probably for about another 3 or 4 seasons. And even if they get to that point, you've still got Patrick Mahomes and no indication that he's about to enter decline or anything. If anything, he might get better. So like I said, that I'd lean towards a B- on this class. So that's going to bring this video to an end. So, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, share the video, hit the notification bell, follow me on Twitter, all the good stuff, and I will see you tomorrow for the LA Chargers draft.